Hello, I'm the Anime Viewer 66. Today we're going to be taking a look at the great anime Black Lagoon, otherwise known as the anime that seriously everyone needs to watch at least once. We start off our story with our main character Rukia Kajima, who is your basic everyday average businessman. I would say that's bland as all get out, but it's a step up from the everyday average high school student that like 80% of all anime today have, so thumbs up there. He is then ordered by his bosses to deliver a disc overseas. The only thing he doesn't know about this disc is that it happens to be wanted by a bunch of dangerous people. Enter the Lagoon Company. The Lagoon Company is basically a bunch of glorified delivery boys whose job is to take one item from one place to another and get paid. That's basically it. Sometimes they ship legal stuff, but most of the time not. Their members include... First we have Revi, aka Two Hands, aka one of the coolest characters in anime ever. Her backstory is very, very sad as we get to see a little bit more of it as the story goes on. We never get to see the whole picture, but basically her childhood was messed up, leading to being the awesomeness that she is today. She is very bitter to the world, thinking that money, guns, and alcohol are pretty much all there is to it. And she, for her world that she lives in at least, is correct. She lives in the city of Winnipur with all of her other cohorts. And in that city, the city of lawlessness and crime, that is pretty much all you need to survive. And then there's Benny. Benny is basically the tech support guy in this show. Sadly enough, we don't get to see much of him in the show, despite the fact that he's a part of the main crew. But I suppose, considering the fact that all he can really do is type on a computer screen, yeah, they were probably wise to just go ahead and focus on the guns and battle and leave him as, even though he's the main cast, sort of a side main cast member. And then there's Dutch. Dutch is basically the boss of the Lagoon Company, taking jobs from different places and basically managing everything that goes on with the Lagoon Company. He can be both a great negotiator and a great gunman, depending on what the situation calls for. So the Black Lagoon crew decides to take Rin and the disc and try to basically put a ransom on Rin's head. Basically call his bosses up and say, hey, we got your lackey, we want money. And they also give Rin a nickname named Rock, and thank goodness, because Rock is a whole lot easier to say than Renakumura. Unfortunately, then Rock is told that his company will not be paying his ransom. And this is where things start to get really sad for him and everything, and he begs the Lagoon Company basically to keep him on. Yeah, basically to protect him until they can get to somewhere safe. But as the thing goes on, they get into trouble. Rock helps them out of the trouble, and he basically decides, hey, I want to join the Lagoon Company. Even when his old bosses offer him a way back into society, he's like, no, you guys threw me to the sharks, now I'm going to swim with the sharks. And the rest of the anime is just Rock going on missions with the Lagoon Company, and as he goes farther and farther into this world of darkness, he becomes more and more of a creature of darkness himself. He stops seeing this world of crime and villainy as something horrid and dreadful, and starts seeing it as just a part of everyday life. He becomes more and more entwined within the dark underbelly of Winnipur, the city of death, and eventually becomes almost a creature of darkness himself. However, he always stands in the twilight, neither evil nor good, just trying to make his way in a world of horror. Now, there was a lot of characters outside of the main crew that stood out to me, but I don't really have a time to go through all of them individually. But some of them that are really cool are the head of the Russian mafia, Bela Laika. You have the crazy maid from the cybernetic future. Okay, she's not really from the cybernetic future, but Schwarzenegger joke. Watch the show, you'll know what I mean. And, of course, you have one of the coolest samurais ever. All these characters add up to being pretty cool within their own right. And you should watch the show, even if you're not that into violence or anything, just for the awesome characters that come out of it. And so, at the end of the day, I award this anime 5 stars out of 5. I am the Anime Viewer 66. Thank you. And good night.